older cat come through, was trying to get like a tribal, and he was like, I told him my price, and then he must have did one of those things like, oh, come on, Oos. Slowly. I was like, bro, dude.
Not the Oos card.
Yeah, he must have winked at me and everything. I was like, Sully, come on, Sully, what you trying to do?
And he be like, hey, I got a wife, man.
Like, bro, I don't like the way you're looking at me, dude.
Right. I'm a little uncomfortable.
I think understanding your reasons why you're doing what you're doing, why you're standing for what you're standing for, that will give you the extra oomph that you need to stick to your principles. So this is what happened. Somebody came through. They wanted a chess piece. It was a full chess piece, and I told them my price. And my price for a chess piece on both sides, up to the trap, was $2,400. First session came through, and I wanted half the payment. We wanted to see if I can just charge him $1,000. For in his mind, he thought he was just gonna pay $1,200. But I'm like, no, $1,400 is the remaining balance at the end of it. And so there was just whole misunderstanding. I even tried to like break down in details exactly what I'm looking for, but he kept on twisting my arm and really saying, can I just give him that $200 off, and that. I compromised, bro. I said, you know what, I'm willing to discount you $200, and this is because I really wanted to get the tattoo done, because I knew it was gonna look sick when I was done with it, and I really wanted to finish it. So I said, you know what, I'm willing to do it for you, but here's my thing: I would need $1,200 all up front. And he couldn't do it. Good business is when both sides are happy. When one side is happy and the other one is not, that's bad business. And I wasn't happy because he wasn't willing to meet me halfway. I compromised a bit. I'm looking for you to compromise too by shooting me all up front. And he wasn't willing to do that. So therefore, my point is, when you're compromising in business, it can be a bad thing, bro.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Ground Up. I'm your host, Nay, with my brother, Kazi. And we are two entrepreneurs and siblings in a space that we talk on faith, family, and entrepreneurship. And me and my brother were having a conversation the other day about compromise. And I think a lot of times I don't know, compromise could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. And we kind of wanted to have a conversation to touch bases on that, on our two perceptions of it. So what would you define compromise as?
Compromise to me is when you have your morals, you have your principles, and you bend them for somebody, right? So you step out of what you said you wouldn't do. Like if I say I wouldn't tattoo a certain type of thing, like demonic tattoos. I don't tattoo genitals. I don't tattoo hood tattoos. But then you see me on a day where I'm tattooing it and make you question, like, I thought you said you don't do that thing, right? So it makes me a person that's not a person of integrity, right? So I say one thing, but I do something totally different. So I'm compromising my own word. I'm compromising my own principles for XYZ reasons. Everybody has their reasons. But I would say it's not good, because I mean, in regards to my faith, the Bible talks about a double-minded person receives nothing from the Lord. So when you say one thing and you do something different, that's one, not a person of integrity, but then two, you're compromising your own word, and you're somebody that I will label that can't be trusted, right? So if you want to be a person of that is known to be a person of authoritarian, but also a person of integrity, you have to walk the talk. Whatever you say, you keep your word. When you say that you don't do something, or you're going to do something, make sure that you're doing exactly just that.
Yeah, because I mean, if you say that you stand for something, but then you go against that, then now nobody can trust your word. Your word means nothing. And if people can't trust your word, well, then your business is just not going to be good.
Yeah, and I would say if you don't even, how would I say? I would say if you can't even be a man of your word, and your word means nothing to you, why should anybody else? Why should your word mean anything to anybody else? I mean, you can't even fulfill your word. You can't even believe that what you say you're going to do. So again, your words, to me, it carries no weight. And I feel like you can feel people's, like, their energy. You can feel their aura. You know what I mean? When somebody's actually a person of integrity, they walk in the room, you can just feel that confidence. You can feel like they're a person that actually walks what they talk. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, I mean, I've experienced that. But I've also experienced those people whose words are empty, and those people who make empty promises are like, oh yeah, like I'll come back and I'll do this and I'll do that, and it's like, See, those are people who go in one year and out the other, because now your word holds no weight, because we know that your promises are empty and I don't believe anything coming out your mouth. So in a sense, is if you compromise, you're kind of like doing yourself a
Mm-hmm.
disjustice, because people aren't gonna hold no value in what you have to say. So compromise to me means I think I told you earlier about turning a blind eye to what you know is right. And because I'm looking at it in a sense of when it comes to my faith, like I don't compromise in that area, because I do believe that when it comes to the Bible, it's black and white. There is no gray area of,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that in the world that we live in, you see a lot of compromise. You see a lot of churches who support things we shouldn't be supporting, or who advocate for things you probably shouldn't be advocating for. And so yeah, to me, a compromise when it comes to your faith, that should be like I guess like textbook. Like literally, if you read the Bible, um God's pretty direct and he's pretty straightforward with one way. Like he said, like the way is narrow and it's not easy, but there's only one way to Christ. There's only one way, and it's through Jesus. And anything outside of that, you've compromised. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I was looking at it when we thought about this topic of compromise. I'm thinking about like my faith, like when it there's some non-negotiables when it comes, and I know it's like not the popular thing to popular life to live, a life that in the Christian life, that where I no longer drink, I don't smoke or practice fornication, but this is a life that we're called to live. If we say that we are Christians, there is no compromise in that. And I'm not trying to shun anybody or say that I'm better than, because I'm not. I'm still a sinner at the end of the day who fell and is still trying to do my best to, but it's not I guess it's not a, what is it, intentional sin of like I'm just gonna keep doing this lifestyle and God's still gonna love me. You know what I mean? Like that would, I guess, I don't know, that would be taking advantage of God's grace.
Yeah. So I covered a bit on business. You covered a bit on faith.
Mm,
Now, if I were to talk about compromise within families, there can be a good and a bad to it, right?
mm-hmm,
I think we spoke on that bit, which was, I compromise within my marriage from time to time, right? So, like for example, the wifey, she's not one to like watching movies,
mm-hmm,
and I love watching movies, right? But and when you're with somebody, I believe in relationships, you have to be one that's serving. I guess it's like a game. Who can outserve who can outserve their partner, right? So if you're all about me and just fulfilling my own needs, and you're very self-centered, and I feel like that's going to be a very toxic type of relationship, because within relationships, in my opinion, it should be like filling each other's cup, right? And when one is constantly doing the pouring and the other one's not pouring back into the other person, I feel like eventually this person is going to be dealing with drought, and they're going to
mm-hmm,
feel empty.
mm-hmm.
And then next, they're going to start outsourcing where they can get that fulfillment from,
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
right? So again, compromise within relationships, I feel like it's necessary to a certain extent, but and everybody's case scenario is different. But essentially what I'm saying is, within your relationships, there has to be a bit of compromise. You have to meet each other within the middle. It can't be one
mm-hmm,
person just doing all of the compromising. Both people have to be compromised to fulfill the needs and the wants and the desires. I feel like to have a very healthy type of relationship.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So that's within relationship. With that, what I would say with like in regards to what is a toxic type of compromise within family could be like when you're dealing with peer pressure from the outside, right? What I'll say is like, if you say you're kicking it with the homies or kicking with family, and you're not one to drink or you're not one to smoke, but then everybody's like, oh, come on, dog, you just take a shot with us, bro. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? And then next you dabbling into something that you thought you gave up a long time ago
Yeah.
because it's not who you are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you feel like you're compromising what you believe that you're supposed to be doing, that like it's your new identity that you've accepted, but then your compromises to, I guess, please other people, people, that's where it can be a problem for you. And next you know, you're
Yeah.
doing everything that you're back to square one again.
Yeah.
Because like I like this one thing. It said that I seen this video. It said the enemy's not dumb. He's not going to show you like this chains that and like you're going to put it
Yeah.
back on. He's going to give you like a link at a time, and next you know those links, the compound effect over time, it builds the chains that keeps you shackled. Now you know you got a stronghold. Now next you know you're in bondage.
Yeah.
But it's those little, he's very subtle with it. So
Yeah,
those little compromises.
He's very subtle and he studies you. So he knows what you struggle with, and he knows what you're willing to compromise on. And that's why at the end of the day, you have to be so certain in who you are, what you stand for, and what values you're not willing to compromise on. Because it might start with, okay, I know that this coworker isn't living a life that I want to obtain, but I'm just gonna, I feel bad, like let me just go to this gathering, and it starts with that. But then at this gathering, it might be drinking, it might be this, and one thing leads to the other, and next thing you know, now you're backsliding because you wanted to compromise on what you should have never done. And so back to knowing who you are and what you stand for, you're gonna have to say no to a lot of things, and you're gonna have to be okay with letting people down. And I feel like that's why a lot of people compromise, is you're trying to please somebody else. You're trying to please, I don't know, a friend, a family member, to make them feel good. But then at the end of the day, you go home and you're not at peace. You're struggling. You're fighting that inner battle of the voices in your head is like, man, I messed up. Like, I feel bad that I did this. And now you're in turmoil. Like, you're stressing over something little when it could have been as easy as, no, thank you, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? So you can't be a people pleaser. You have to know who you are and stand on that. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, you're teaching people, like, they might have known you before, but if they don't know the new you, like, say, like me, for example, right? I mean, I'm just using me as an example because I don't want to throw anybody else under the bus. But like me, I used to drink and now I don't. And so people who used to know me, they will invite me out and they will invite me to these gatherings. And I've had to say no a lot of times. And in a sense, it's kind of like teaching these people of like what I stand for now versus what I used to. Like, they know now not to ask me because I'm not even going to show up. And so you're teaching people how to treat the new you. And so you have to be stern and stand on what you believe on.
I agree. Most definitely. You know what it is? I feel like a lot of people are afraid to ruffle feathers too. They're afraid of conflict. Yeah. So they cowered back. You know what I mean? And they shrink back, and then you're dabbling.
Yeah.
You're on the fence. I mean, you have to be so, I guess, bold to say the things that's going to I guess protect your peace, protect your relationship, because there's things that I don't dabble in, like, right, is I don't do certain things because I know that if I do this, one, I'm compromising, but two, it jeopardizes my relationship with the Father too. Right? Like it's what's crazy to me is when I tell people that I've been with Dominique, my wife, for 17 years this year. Right, we've been together for 17 years and I've been faithful since. And to people, that's crazy.
Yeah, it blows their mind.
Right. And one thing I say is I'll never compromise my relationship in regards to I will never cheat, because one, jeopardizing my relationship with God first. Two, I would never want to hurt Dominique because I actually love her. Right. I love her and I would never want to harm her. But then two, I don't want to be the reason why my family would break up. Right. So like, I think understanding your reasons why you're doing what you're doing, why you're standing for what you're standing for, that will give you the extra oomph that you need to stick to your principles, stick to what you believe to be true, and your morals. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you would be a wishy-washy type of person if you don't stand on business when it comes to your morals and your principles. When you compromise, I would say there's like this thing that gets released, right? It's like these endorphins in your brain, like this chemical, because there's like a short-term type of pleasure that you get when you give in, right? Because yes, you make somebody happy, and so I feel like we genuinely, it makes us feel some type of way when we make other people happy. We see a smile, like, okay, we compromised. We're like, well, okay, we gave in. They're happy, right?
Yeah.
But there's like that short-term pleasure that comes with it. There's just like this release of like these endorphins that get released into your brain. There's like these things that help you celebrate and blah, blah, blah. But at the expense of so many other things. There's like the thing that holds me too is like what's going to happen after this, right?
Oh yeah.
What is the cost of me giving in right now? And I think that's what keeps me. That's what holds me also, because people, they don't count the cost.
Mm,
They don't count the cost.
mm. I
It's like a ripple effect. I feel like, you know what I
mhm.
mean?
Well,
Like
it's kind of like, okay,
a
think of it
domino
as
effect.
like I think of it as like a football field. Like it's like when you compromise, you're taking that marker that was in the middle, you're moving it back to there. Or would it be on yours? I guess it would be on your side,
So
right?
you
You take
don't
the
you, when
marker.
you reference sports, I am not that guy, bro.
Okay. Well,
Alright.
it's like you push the line back. You push the boundary line back. From it went from being half to now they're pushing into your territory. And then it started as that, and now when they do it again, then you're in compromise. Now they pushing more, little by little. Like
Mm.
you have nothing to stand on. There's no more ground for you, and now like you're basically compromising. And two, like if you're compromising to keep the peace is what people call it, because like you said, a lot of people don't like compromise. I mean, a lot of people don't like conflict. Like I know that I used to be one of those people. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to do all those things, and it was because I wanted to keep the peace. I hated making ruffling some feathers, and I hated having to, I guess, combat like what I knew. Like for example, I used to be a lead at Tesla, and it was my first time ever in a position of authority. And so when I would notice like people who I was over, like they would show up late. It
Mhm.
started off with 5 minutes. Then the 5 minutes turned into 10 minutes. And then the 10 minutes turned into 20. Like, and it just kept getting worse over
Yeah,
time, right?
yeah.
And I kept thinking like, oh, I just want to be cool with them. Like, I don't want them to think that I'm trying to like power trip. Right. I don't
Micromanage.
want to micromanage. I don't want to power trip. So I just let them do them. But me letting them do them, not only did it affect them taking longer breaks and coming into work late, but I was taking a hit because my
Mhm.
supervisor would come and ask me like, "Oh, how come you guys didn't finish this? How come you didn't do that?"
Do your
Like,
job.
yeah, and I was just like, but I mind you, because I was so afraid of like conflict, I would make up excuse. Oh, yeah, it was because we were short on parts, or it was because this, and I'm taking the hit at the end of the day, and I'm going home, and I'm like, I'm going home stressed because
Mhm.
I'm just like, man, how do I get these people to listen to me? How do I, because
Right.
at the same time, I want to be their friend, but
Yeah.
I also want them to listen to what I have to say. And so it came to a day to where I had to put my big girl pants on, and I had to put my foot down like, hey, like y'all can't be late no more. And I'm not gonna lie, when I said that, I was like, hey, so they know that you've been sneaking off. Like I used my supervisor, I used his name so that they would listen. But then I literally had to learn to stand my ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so if you're compromising to keep the peace, at the end of the day, you're not at peace.
Yeah.
You're struggling and you're stressed over something that could have been so simple if you stood your ground.
Yeah,
Like,
it reminds me of that quote says you give somebody an inch, they want the whole mile.
mm-hmm.
Right? And people will take advantage of you.
Oh
If
yeah.
they know that they can get a little bit from you, they're gonna keep on like, okay, she'll
Oh
give
yeah.
in a little
She'll
bit more.
budge.
She'll budge, yeah, yeah. You just
Mm-hmm.
keep on hassling, I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
on twisting her arm. Eventually she'll give in. It reminds me of like kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that keep on asking, please, please. I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
already said no, dude, you can't get nothing
Yeah.
from the store. It's like, Dad, please. Remember that one time that this and that, this, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, bro.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
and eventually, and then you give in,
yeah.
and then now in their mind, in their psyche, they're like, okay, if I just keep on
Yeah. If I keep bugging him,
bugging about like
he's
10,
eventually gonna
15 minutes,
bark.
eventually I'm gonna get what I want.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's why it's important. Again, back to our point, which is do not compromise. If you let your yeses, I mean, that's scriptural too. Let your yeses be yeses, and let your no's be no's.
Mm-hmm.
There is no middle ground right there, right? But even within business, just something very recent that happened. I think I told you about it.
Oh right. Yeah.
Somebody. So this is what happened. Somebody came through. They wanted a chess piece. It was a full chess piece, and I told them my price. And my price for a chess piece on both sides, up to the trap, was $2,400. $2,400. First session came through, and I wanted half the payment, and I only got and I think in his mind I was gonna get way more done. So he wanted to see if I can just charge him 1,000 for the beginning, and at the end I thought in his mind he was gonna pay me 1,400,
Mm-hmm.
but in his mind he thought he was just gonna pay 1,200. But I'm like, no, 1,400 is the remaining balance at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was just a misunderstanding. I even tried to like break down in details exactly what I'm looking for, but he kept on twisting my arm and really saying, can I just, give him that $200 off, and that. So, I compromised, bro. I said, you know what? I'm willing to discount you 200. And this is because I really wanted to get the tattoo done because I knew it was gonna look sick when I was done with it, and I really wanted to finish it. So I said, you know what? I'm willing to do it for you, but here's my thing. I need 1,200 all up front,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll start talking dates. And he couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what I would say is what I was telling my apprentices, good business is when both sides are happy. When one side is happy and the other one is not, that's bad business.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't happy because he wasn't willing to meet me halfway. I compromised a bit. I'm looking for you to compromise too by shooting me all up front.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't willing to do that. So therefore, my point is, when you're compromising in business, it can be a bad thing, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to make him happy, but he wasn't trying to. I mean, he wasn't willing to meet me in the middle. So
I see. Yeah. Like, I mean, when it comes to business, like you said, there is no compromising. Your prices are your prices. You take it or leave it. And I think when it comes to small businesses, right? Like when it comes to a service-based business, people think they can bargain, they can negotiate, which this isn't a garage sale. The prices are what they are. And I think you even telling them up front like what the price was and then him saying okay and then trying to negotiate later. Yeah, that's a problem. You can't be doing that.
you ever had somebody in person trying to negotiate?
Oh yeah, I feel like in the beauty industry, like we get negotiators all the time, but I don't. I stand like I have a website for a reason because my prices don't change for nobody. I don't care how many followers you have, unless I reach out to you because I want to do a lash service or a model set on you. Don't try to negotiate prices because in a sense it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful because my prices are what they are for a reason. Your prices are what they are for a reason. You've been in the game for a long time. I've been doing lashes for a long time, and I charge what I charge, and people continue to come back because they know it's quality work,
Yeah.
right? And if you wanted cheap lashes, you would have went somewhere else with cheap prices. But because the quality with that person versus mine isn't the same, that's why you're looking to book these services with us. And so, and it's a fair price. I'm not a what do they call it? Those people who overprice. Like, I mean, yeah, it's based off experience these prices, and so yeah, stop price. What do they call it? What do they call that? Price
Con artist?
No, what do they call it when those people who like go around looking for the cheapest prices?
Lowballers?
I guess, yeah. Stop lowballing your service providers because they put a lot of time and they put a lot of experience into why they charge what they charge.
Yeah, I had a older cat come through, was trying to get like a neck tribal. And he was like, I told him my price, and then he must have did one of those things like, oh, come on, Oos. Slowly. I was like, bro, nah, dude.
Not the Oos card.
Yeah, he must have winked at me and everything. He was like, Sully, come on. Sully, what you trying to do?
And he'd be like, hey, I got a wife, man.
Like, bro. Like, I don't like the way you're looking at me, dude.
Right. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Nah, but yeah, the price is the price. You know what I mean? But I'll talk to family too, bro. Like, you know what's crazy? I don't know how you do it, but with the family, I give them a discount.
No, I do.
I give them a bit of a discount only because they blood their family. You know what I mean? That's just, everybody has, some people don't even give their family discounts, but hey, this is just me. This is how I do it. I don't do discounts with anybody that's not my first cousin.
Yeah.
Or like my brothers and my sisters, my parents, aunties, uncles.
Yeah.
But if you family, like, it's crazy to me when family wants a discount off the discounted price. I was like, bro,
yeah.
I was like, bro, I just shot you something less than what I usually charge, bro. And this is, I don't know how you, like, me personally, I would never ask for a discount, and I don't want you to give me a discounted price either.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. Like, me and Dominique, like, we'll pay you what you usually charge, and then we'll even tip you on top of that. That's just the type of people that we is, right? But if you family and you come and you go and support somebody, or you go and get services from somebody that's an entrepreneur within your family, let them be the one to lessen the price. Don't even ask for it.
You're right.
I mean, like,
don't be so entitled to think that you
automatically
get a discount. Like
it's like, let them give you the price, and either you can afford it or you can't afford it.
Yeah, right.
Right. If you can't afford it, then just say you can do it right now. Let me come up with the funds for it. Don't even it's like somebody telling you to come to work. Say you get paid $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, can you come in and work a full day shift, but we're not going to pay you $20. We're actually going to pay you 15, or we're going to pay you 10. Like, does that make any sense? You wouldn't even want to show up to work. Right. So now on the flip hand side, asking an entrepreneur within your family if they can do a service. One, we're already giving you a discount, but two, you're asking for even less than that, a bigger discount. So it just puts us in an awkward spot. Like, I don't want you to think that I just want your money. You know what I mean? Because understand that there's people out there that are willing to pay what we're charging, and even throw tips on top of that. Oh, yeah. So you want me to step away from my family, some less than half of what I charge? Yeah, that's crazy work. Yeah, come on, family, let's do better. Let's do better.
No, I've dealt with that too before, and I think sometimes too, when you're an entrepreneur in the family, you do a service, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I experience it a lot. Like, sometimes when we go around family and they'll come up to me and be like, "Oh, sis, I'm gonna book an appointment with you and I'm gonna do this." Mind you, I never saw these family members, but I think like sometimes they feel pressured to, like, oh, because I know that these people that my cousins do this, like, I have to book an appointment. But I think y'all need to understand, like, well, I promise I don't feel no type of way if you don't book. I don't feel the type of way if you do book and I give you a discount. Like, if you book, great. If you don't, awesome. Like, I don't, I don't feel no type of way. And even when I've seen a lot of memes talking about, like, stranger or your family members don't support, they don't like or repost your stuff. I don't expect none of my family members to support or to repost. And if they do, thankfully my family is supportive and they will like and repost our stuff. But I think that's like an entitled like way of thinking, is the people in your circle have to support what you're doing. But it's like, I think
what do we look like, MC Hammer?
Right. It's like, bro, they're not entitled. Like, nobody's entitled to like your stuff and repost. But if they do, great. But they stop feeling the type of way if they don't. Like, because at the end of the day, who is your targeted audience? I'm pretty sure it's not them. You know what I mean? So stop. Yeah.
Stop you know the story of MC Hammer, right?
No.
She's all laughing like you.
I told you I'd be laughing at. I don't know what.
So you laughing? I'm laughing.
If you laugh, I'll laugh too. But what is it?
MC Hammer. Everybody knows MC Hammers. So he was on top, and then he was trying to pull everybody up with him. So he was like putting them on payroll, having them like do all these like security and work in the books, whatever. And he was overcompensating them, but a lot of them weren't really doing their job. So eventually he went bankrupt. He lost all his money.
Is that
so he went broke?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's doing good now. He's an entrepreneur. I think he's out here in the Valley.
Yeah, he's in Tracy.
Yeah. So he's doing better now. God be the glory. But yeah, that's a story that we can learn from. Pull from that and let that be a lesson learned. Unfortunately, it was a lesson learned on his part. He had to go through that. But I like learning from other people's, ALs. So yeah, you can't pull everybody up with you and think that you owe them something. They call it survivor's guilt too. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Just because you made it, now you feel guilty because you came from the hood and you want to pull everybody else out from the hood, and you feel like you have to do them, like you owe them a favor, because you made it out, or maybe they feel like you owe them.
Yeah, but it takes a certain mindset to pull yourself out of situations like that, and not everybody is built with that, or not everybody gets to that point where their mindset shifts from I think we spoke on this too before, from someone who life happened to someone where I'm going to use this and as ammunition and as motivation to do better for myself. Some people always see themselves as a victim and instead of a survivor, and so their mindset, even though like somebody's trying to give them all the things that they need to be successful, they'll just use it all up and not do anything with that. So it's like there's a development period that has to happen for people who make it out, and become successful.
Yeah, there's things that you have to do to get out of the situation that you're in, because there's the poverty line, there's middle class, and then there's the upper class, right? So in my mindset, I'm like, okay, whichever bracket I'm in, if I want to move up a level, I got to figure out exactly what do these people right here do that I am not doing? What are things that they're not doing that I'm doing? Maybe I'm doing it and they're not doing it, then so I got to get rid of these things. So there's certain things that we have to do to move up. And I think first and foremost, the Bible says, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock on the door shall be open. So my question, which is valid, is are you seeking, right? Are you
Mhm.
seeking that information? Are you seeking these type of people that are there already, and so you can pull wisdom from them,
Mhm.
right? Learn from it, and then you will know the right implications to
Mhm.
enforce on your personal, so that you can start growing, developing that thing that you was talking about to get to those
Mhm.
higher levels, right? And again, I think it's hard for people to cut things off that they've been so accustomed to. Maybe they've been doing it like this for
Yeah.
so many years, right? And to but it's necessary for them to do those things to get to that point that they really genuinely desire to be, right? So there's work that need to be done, and yeah, it's it's easier said than done, but it's not impossible because
Yeah.
there's people already doing it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's being at a point where you're willing to do the work that a lot of people aren't willing to do.
Mhm. It's not, you can't just wake up one day and think that it's all gonna happen in an instant. There's work to be done,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think that's the part, that is the part a lot of people don't wanna do. They kinda just wanna hand it to them. But then again, um, I don't know if it was you who told me this quote or somebody else online, but it was,
That's probably
saying,
me. No,
huh?
I said it's
He said
probably
it was
me.
probably me. Hey, probably so. Only been talking to you for like a whole year. But no, okay, so like they're saying like, okay, with as much money as Elon has, right? Billions and billions of dollars. They're saying like with as much money as he has, he can solve like the problem of
Poverty.
poverty and all these things, right? If he just distribute all that money, which mind you, he worked for that money, but whatever. But they were saying if he was to distribute all that money equally amongst everybody in the world, that it would solve all those problems. But they said that even if he did that, eventually like all the money would end up back into their hands
Mhm.
because they know what moves to make to gain back that money. Meanwhile, like if you were to give a person who is in poverty, give them like $1 million, what are they gonna do? Right? The first thing they're gonna do is go buy a car,
Splurge.
splurge, buy shoes, outfits, and stuff like that. The first thing a millionaire is gonna do is invest. And so, like I said, it's all stemming down to your mindset of like the way you think is gonna dictate how your life
Yeah, yeah.
goes.
And what's called? It reminds me of something I heard. It said people don't have a money problem; they have a money management problem.
Mm,
Right. And what I teach Caleb is something I learned from the book Trash Man to Cash Man by Myron Golden is whenever you're spending your money, is it a wealth reducing liability or is it a income producing asset?
yeah. And I'm laughing because I heard him say that to me
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Yeah, kids are a sponge, bro. They will repeat exactly what you say, whether it be good or bad. And I'm being more intentional. And I think all of us should be intentional with, what we are passing down to those that listen to us, right, on social media, or those that are mentees, those that are influenced by us. Being intentional with the words that we use because they speak life, or you're planting seeds of death,
Mm,
So make sure that I'm very intentional with what I speak over my kids, and that's what I teach Caleb right now. Little Caleb is the importance of managing your money because, like to your point, you can give handouts all day, but if they don't know how to store it, they don't know how to manage it, they don't
mhm.
have the character to even sustain it, then they're just gonna be back at square one. So
Yeah.
I'm big on teaching mindset over
Mhm.
giving all this free game because
Mhm.
we're in the information era. There's a lot of information out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure if they Google or Chat GPT on how to get out of these situations, they're gonna have all the answers right there. But they're gonna see all the stuff that's required for
Mhm.
them, all the steps that's required, and a lot of them they don't commit. They
Mhm.
don't they don't commit because they feel a bit of discomfort, low resistance,
Yeah.
pushback of like internal beliefs and limiting
Mhm.
beliefs, and then it's just like they settle back to where they
Mhm.
were. And
Yeah.
yeah, going back to like Fossil Samoa, if you were to see all the stuff that our people had to endure, the stuff that they've created, the boats, right, the all the stuff that they've created from just the resources that they had on the islands, wayfinders, and learning how to navigate the stars, the ocean,
Mhm.
just by using the stars, right, mapping out the stars,
Mhm.
so many different things that they've done. Like just going back to our roots, like we literally have nothing to say because we have so much here in the States, bro.
Yeah.
It's just it kills me. It
Yeah.
really does.
I mean, since we're on the topic of, back to our roots of Fasamoa, like there's so many things that we do within our culture that we could capitalize on, right? Like, for example, the candy lays, right? Everyone knows that we were first to do it.
Yes,
Everyone
sir.
knows we were first to do it,
Now
and
everybody's doing it.
now everybody's doing it. And I see a lot of Polynesian people getting mad at, like, the Mexican people who are selling these graduation lays, or like other nationalities doing it. But the thing about it is, we had all this time to capitalize on that. We had all this time to make a business of it. And granted, there are Polynesian owned people who do it
There's
now,
Yep.
but like out here there isn't. And so we'll see like Mexican people selling it, and I see a lot of Polynesian people angry about that. But it's like, but y'all not doing it though, like, you know what I mean?
I don't understand why people get mad at it. To be honest with you,
But people see it as
it's like Polynesians that say they step into the business of braiding hair.
yeah. Well, exactly.
That's not from our
Because
culture.
they say that those people making candy lays, it's culture appropriation. But it's like you said, there's Samoan people who have a business that braid hair.
Mhm.
Wouldn't they say that's culture appropriation
or
as well?
makeup artists.
Right. Like every single thing that we do, down to the clothes, down to the shoes, came from somebody's culture.
Yeah.
The makeup came from someone's culture. And so if you wanted to go there, everything came from a different culture. But I think that's the beautiful thing about being in America, is all of it gets, merged into one. And this is a new culture of being in the US. And you can take it or leave it. I know a lot of people are gonna probably have something to say about that, but
It's cool.
yeah, which is okay.
Please, sir.
We welcome we welcome criticism.
Constructive criticism
Yeah,
or hate comments.
yeah. But if there's something like in I guess that you do, a skill, capitalize on that. Like, man, there's so many people who have talents who sleep on it and then get mad at the next person who has that same talent from the culture and then is making money from it. But if you're not gonna do it, somebody else will. I'm telling you, like, because there's nothing that really. I mean, because even with cultural practices, you can't like what do they call it? You can't when you what is it called when someone can't steal your name, or like can't steal your practice? What do you call that? Oh my
Oh
god,
no.
bro! You come on, you supposed to be right here, bro. No, what do they call it? Dang.
When
Anyway.
somebody steals,
No, when somebody like say they call it a word, when you blank this, then someone can't steal your name.
copyright.
There you go. You can't copyright cultural practices.
Oh gosh, only.
That's what I meant to say. I might cut that part out, but whatever.
Yeah. So to rope it back in, we were kind of everywhere, but essentially we wanted to talk about compromising. And go back a bit, what I think people don't really understand is the effects, the impact of your compromise. How many people are going to be affected by you, giving in to the culture, you giving in to the peer pressure, you giving into your selfish desires, right? Short-term pleasures. There's so many people that will be affected by it. You just don't ever see it, right?
Mhm.
Like me, say I give into to cheating, and I don't count the cost of like the trauma that's going to cause upon my kids, the trauma is going to cause towards Dominique,
Mhm.
right? So and then the generations to come, because now they're traumatized, so they're going to pass that down and act a certain fashion, certain manner. Their mannerisms will change because of the trauma that dad had put on them, right?
Mhm.
Or compromise within the business, and there's just a ripple effect of things could happen if I were to bend my principles, bend things that I stand for. And on the flip hand side, you sticking to your principles, sticking to your guns, how many people are going to be affected by your I guess. Can we keep it down in over there? No.
It's a little loud. No, I'm
I
playing.
don't like it here. We need to film this spot. Totally unprofessional over here, dude. It's like,
Don't come on a Wednesday. I mean, on a Tuesday over here. No, I'm playing.
oh, so wrap it up. You have anything Chevy you want to
Man, yeah. So I feel like we're kind of all over the place, but in a sense, it all relates. If you really think about it,
Oh, it's connected.
yeah. If you know, you know. You
Self-connected,
gotta
bro.
think about it. But no, this is just how a raw, like real conversation goes with us. Like we'll literally start from one place and we'll end up like over here. Okay. But in a sense, all of it relates because we all are talking about compromise. We are talking about standing your ground and then also shifting your mindset. What entails when you compromise? Like there's a shift that happens. And so at the end of the day, don't compromise, stand your ground. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye guys.